What's your emergency?
I'm shot. Help me. I'm shot. Help me, please. Jesus, help me. I'm shot.
Okay. What's the address of the emergency, ma'am? What's the address of your
I'm
emergency?
shot. Help me, please.
What's your address? What's your address, ma'am?
Shot me. Help me, please. He shot me.
Where? Ma'am, hello, ma'am. Ma'am, hello. Hello.
Right now, come out here and help me kill this bitch. Now!
On March 18th, 2018, a quiet Riverview neighborhood in Florida was shattered by one of the most disturbing domestic crimes ever recorded. A mother's desperate 911 call. A house set on fire. 2 children attacked. And a man whose courtroom behavior would later shock the entire nation.
For something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do. But I will say, I'm sorry for your loss.
Tonight, we break down the timeline, the evidence, the trial, and the aftermath of the Ronnie O'Neal case, a story the judge herself described as worst she had ever seen. Before the world knew the name Ronnie O'Neal the way they know it today, he was simply another man living in Riverview, Florida, with his partner, Kenyatta Barron, and 2 children. Although he grew up with a tough life, witnessing numerous domestic abuses. But behind closed doors, the family struggled. Court records and testimony later revealed arguments, separation, and tension in the relationships. In the year 2012, Kenyatta filed a formal paternity paperwork for her son, legally establishing Ronnie O'Neal as the father. From 2014 to 2018, their relationship grew increasingly unstable. No one could have predicted the horror that would unfold on a Sunday night in March 2018. 11:43 p.m. A frantic 911 call comes into the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. On the line is Kenyatta Barron. She is screaming for help. In the background, a male is heard shouting Allahu Akbari again and again.
What's the address of your emergency?
I'm shot. Help me, please.
What's your address? What's your address, ma'am?
Shot me. Help me, please. He shot me.
Where? Ma'am, hello, ma'am. Ma'am, hello. Hello.
Right now, come out here and help me kill this bitch. Now!
When police arrive, they find Kenyatta Barron outside the home.
That night,
She has been shot and is barely clinging to life. Deputies move closer. They hear more screaming from inside the house. The home is on fire. Smoke pours from the windows. Deputies rush in, knowing there are children inside. Inside a bedroom, they find 9-year-old Ronnie O'Neal. She has been beaten to death with a hatchet. Her injuries are so severe, so horrifying. In another room, they find 8-year-old Ronnie O'Neal IV, who is critically wounded, stabbed multiple times, and severely burned. Miraculously, he is still alive. He is rushed to the hospital. Out the burning home, police encounter Ronnie O'Neal himself. According to officers, he attempted to flee and resist arrest. The police officers wrestle him to the ground, handcuff him, and take him to custody. Within hours, prosecutors SRE preparing charges of 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, aggravated child abuse, arson, resisting law enforcement. The question now becomes, why did he do it? And what happened next would draw the world attention. Investigators begin reconstructing the events inside the home. Ballistics match the shotgun used on Kenyatta. Blood evidence ties Ronnie directly to the attack on his daughter. And the fire intentionally set was meant to destroy evidence. But the most crucial witness was the one person Ronnie O'Neal failed to kill. A shocking decision. On June 16, 2021, Ronnie O'Neal makes a stunning decision. He fires his attorneys and chooses to represent himself. This means he will question witnesses, spoke directly to the jury, and cross-examine his own son.
A fraudulent recording. I beat Kenyatta Barron to death. He talked about Mr. Khalil Brown, my neighbor who stayed across the street. But if Mr. Khalil Brown was a help,
His behavior was loud, explosive, and unpredictable. He often shouted during his opening statements. He claimed he was framed. He argued that law enforcement altered the evidence.
a witness for me because he's playing a fraudulent damn recording of me beating Kenyatta Barron.
One of the most emotional moments in the entire case happens when 11-year-old Ronnie O'Neal IV takes the stand. He is asked a simple but devastating question.
I just saw my dad holding a shotgun and my mom, and mom screaming at him.
And your father had a shotgun. What happened next? What did he do?
My mom ran in my sister's room. My mom ran in my sister's room into the closet. And then my dad said, come in here and come kill this the B-word.
Did you hear any shots from the shotgun before that?
Yes.
How many times?
1.
Was there a time when your mother was able to get out of the closet?
She was stumbling outside, and then I just saw my dad chase her.
What do you remember happening next?
My dad told me to walk around and say some words.
And do you remember what words your father told you to say?
Allah Akbar.
Allahu Akbar?
Yes.
Did he do something to your sister?
Yes, he hit her with an axe. And then he went in the garage, I followed him. He put me on the ground, and then he had his foot on top. I was laying in my stomach, he had his foot on top of me, and he was holding me down. And he was lighting a match.
Mr. O'Neal, any questions?
How you doing, Ronnie?
Good.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Did you see me shoot your mom?
No.
Did I hurt you that night of this incident?
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
He stabbed me.
Witnesses were brought and questioned.
Smith.
You boyfriend tell the truth to help you guys?
He told me Kiki is trying to kill me. Kiki is trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me.
Can you draw any conclusions that I committed any murder in this case?
Yes, that's why I arrested you.
Trying to run away, and he went and he grabbed her, and she was on the sidewalk, and he stood over her, did this striking thing 3 times, and he shot her.
We never got along.
He was staggering.
He was apparently severely injured.
I found that I was slipping, which I couldn't figure out why, because I hadn't applied a lot of water. So I ducked down to the ground to try to see exactly what I was slipping on, and I realized that the floor was covered in blood.
I believe he said, my dad killed my mom or my dad shot my mom. It's one of the two statements that he made.
The courtroom is silent. This testimony seals the prosecution's case. On June 21, 2021, after deliberating, the jury returns. Ronnie O'Neal is found guilty on all charges. First-degree murder of Kenyatta Barron, first-degree murder of Ron Nevea, attempted murder of his son, aggravated child abuse, arson, resisting law enforcement. During the penalty phase, mental health experts testify that Ronnie O'Neal suffered from PTSD, delusional disorder, a traumatic childhood, but the jury decides not to recommend the death penalty. On July 23, 2021, Judge Michelle Cisco delivers her sentence. Before she began, she says this directly to Ronnie O'Neal's face.
But I'm going to look you in the eye and tell you, this is the worst case ever in my life. And I have seen some horrors, but this is it. And I'm going to mete out the punishment that I think this case deserves. All right, so with that, on count one, Mr. O'Neal, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life in prison with a minimum mandatory of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Count two, I will adjudicate you guilty, and adjudicate you guilty on count one as well. Count two, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole, consecutive to count one. On count three, I'm going to sentence you on the attempted murder, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life in prison, running consecutive to counts 2 and consecutive to count 1. On count 4, on the arson, first-degree dwelling, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 30 years Florida State Prison to run consecutive to counts 1, 2, and 3. On count 5, aggravated child abuse, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 30 years in the Florida State Prison to run consecutive to counts 1 through 4. On count 6, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty to aggravated child abuse, sentence you to 30 years in prison to run consecutive to counts 1 through 5. And on count 7, resisting arrest without violence, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to time served. Credit for time served is 1,224 days. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. Thank you. We're concluded.
Ronnie O'Neal is transferred to a Florida correctional facility to serve life without parole. But the story does not end there. His surviving son, the boy who lived through unimaginable trauma, is adopted by Detective Mike Blair, one of the officers who responded to the case. He takes on a new last name, Ronnie Blair. He joins a supportive family, returns to school, begins therapy, and slowly rebuilds his life. In interviews, his adoptive father describes him as loving, strong, and resilient. The Ronnie O'Neal case remains one of the most disturbing crimes in Florida's history. Not only because of the brutality, but because of the sheer emotional weight carried by the lone survivor, a child who lost everything but found a new beginning. As always, this is Crime and Final Sentence, bringing you real cases, real timelines, and real justice stories. If you learned something new today, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notification so you never miss another deep dive.